The best adventure movies are thrilling, rip-roaring cinematic adventures that the whole family can enjoy. Because of their exciting nature and universal appeal across a range of demographics, many of the highest-grossing films at the worldwide box office have been adventure films, and today, we'll be counting down the top 10. 10. Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Released in 2019, J.J. Abrams' epic space opera made $1,072,848,487 on an estimated budget of $275 million. Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker is the third installment of the Star Wars trilogy that was announced after Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures acquired the distribution rights from Lucasfilm Ltd. The film itself follows the entangled stories of an ensemble cast as the embattled resistance movement makes its last stand against the First Order, headed by Kylo Ren and a returned Emperor Palpatine. 9. Toy Story 4. Following directly on from Toy Story 3, Toy Story 4, released in 2019 and directed by Josh Cooley, follows Woody as he tries to assimilate to a new life without Andy, and instead belonging to his sister Bonnie. Many of the series cast returned for Toy Story 4, and it was a huge hit with audiences worldwide, with its mixture of comedy, well-animated action, and more emotional undertones. 8. The Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King. The final film in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, The Return of the King, was released in 2003. With Peter Jackson at the helm, the previous two Lord of the Rings films had already won over critics and audiences alike. The final film did the impossible and landed a story of huge scope with multiple important characters in a manner that pleased almost everyone. Not only did The Return of the King make huge money at the box office, it also swept up a record-breaking 11 awards at the 76th Academy Awards. 7. Minions. The 2015 comedy animation Minions featured the pill-shaped yellow side characters from the film Despicable Me. This standalone film was just the beginning of the Minions' transition into an inescapable culture phenomenon, but still managed to entertain audiences and critics alike, with its childish, gibbering protagonists supported by an immensely talented voice acting cast. 6. The Incredibles 2. When The Incredibles was released in 2004, it was hugely successful, and there was a lot of hype for the sequel. Despite Brad Bird's interest in directing a sequel and Bob Iger confirming that work had begun in 2016, The Incredibles 2 didn't hit screens until 2018. Despite some trepidation from audiences, given the lengthy development time, The Incredibles 2 was an excellent and hugely successful adventure movie that found favor with a huge range of demographics. 5. Star Wars Episode 8: The Last Jedi. The prequel to our number 10 spot, Star Wars Episode 8: The Last Jedi, swapped out J.J. Abrams for Rian Johnson at the helm. The film is dedicated to Carrie Fisher, who died the year before the film's release, and is featured in the film in a world's first posthumous film performance. While the film's storyline and direction divided fans, they still flocked to the cinema to see it, giving The Last Jedi huge worldwide box office returns. 4. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. The last Harry Potter film in the series had a lot to do to land the franchise, especially after the mixed reception for the Deathly Hallows Part 1. Thankfully, Deathly Hallows Part 2 more than pulled it off, weaving together personal storylines and relationships with the larger and more explosive final wizard battle to completely amaze audiences. 3. Frozen 2. As with The Incredibles 2, the huge success of Frozen put a lot of pressure on the sequel. Released 6 years after the original, just as people had stopped singing Let It Go, Frozen 2 takes on a darker tone and sees Elsa and Anna attempting to save their kingdom from an ancient curse. Despite this darker tone, Frozen 2 was still a hit with both the family audience and critics and drew in huge box office returns. 2. The Lion King. Despite being a planned B-side release to Pocahontas, which was given more of Disney's animation talent, The Lion King captured imaginations worldwide. Audiences loved the hugely memorable characters such as Simba, Nala, Timon, Pumbaa and Mufasa, and loved to hate the villainous Scar and his hyena henchmen. The Lion King ended up vastly outperforming Pocahontas at the box office and winning 2 Oscars. It is also the only Disney film to have been dubbed in Zulu. 1. Star Wars Episode 7 – The Force Awakens. The first of the Disney Star Wars trilogy, Star Wars Episode 7 – The Force Awakens, introduced us to the characters of Finn, Rey, Kylo Ren, and Poe Dameron, while also bringing back fan favorites such as Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, and Chewbacca. From start to finish, Star Wars Episode 7 – The Force Awakens is a roller coaster of an adventure film, filled with thrills, explosions, action, and underscored by an excellent sweeping musical score. Its popularity with both old and new fans of the franchise is probably why it racked up just over $2 billion at the worldwide box office. Film.io is democratizing the movie industry by supporting people who want to make an impact on the world through film. Creators, fans, and investors can involve themselves in a process that's outside the Hollywood system to get projects made that speak for everyone. Join us at Film.io.